let's get started on your platform. So in your words, what does the county board do?
The county board oversees several offices that serve the entire county of Macon, including the sheriff's office, the jail, the county treasurer, county recorder, circuit clerk. The courts fall under Macon County, but they're governed by state and federal as well.
Mm-hmm.
The responsibility of the board is the fiscally responsible spending of taxpayer money.
Okay. And then broadly speaking, why are you running for office this year?
I am running for re-election because I enjoy serving on the board. I think we're headed in the right direction financially. I think things are lined up that we're doing very well, and everyone on the board is very concerned about, staying in the black and and being responsible for the services that we need to provide to the county.
Okay. And what are your 3 biggest priorities for the county board?
Well, I don't have any particular projects in mind. I think just continuing to be responsible. I think we're doing a great job. I've been on the board long enough that I can remember being $3 million in debt, and and we got out of that. And since then, we've been very, very good at really paying attention.
Okay. Right. What do you think are the 3 biggest priorities for voters on the political right?
The 3 biggest priorities for voters?
Mm-hmm. On the political right.
I'm not sure how to answer that question. I run my campaign based on what I think is important for the job, and if people agree with me, they'll vote for me. I'm not sure what you want from what kind of answer you want for that.
Okay.
Especially, it's particularly at the county level. I don't know. In my years of being on the county board, I haven't seen a whole lot of left and right, and I've seen a whole lot of here's what we need to do for the citizens of Macon County.
Right. Yeah. Some people I've interviewed have answered kind of more in a national sense, but
I'm not answering in a national sense.
Right.
I'm not running for a national office.
And then Greg Mattingly I interviewed yesterday, and one of his from the political right was community safety, another was fiscal responsibility.
And I don't see that as a right or left issue. I see that as a county issue. I haven't found anybody on the left or the right who would disagree with either one of those.
Okay. Are there any concerns from the political left that you're aware of that are county-wide?
Nope. I believe people in the county are concerned about their tax money, and they're concerned about safety. And, that I do not like addressing one or the other as left or right.
Okay. All right. What policy proposals or legislation have you written or are planning to write?
Well, as far as sitting down with a pen and paper and writing legislation, no. In committees, we vote on resolutions and they go to the full board. We've supported legislation just read every resolution we've ever voted on that's been approved by the board.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as I don't have any raw paper at home with pencil marks on it as to how I want to word a resolution.
Okay. What existing county policies and legislation would you like to change or overturn?
None particularly come to mind right now.
Okay. Is there?
I'm not running for office to be vindictive or to fix anything. I want to continue to serve the citizens of Macon County with the responsibility of their tax dollars.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to add regarding your political platform?
Nope, I don't think so.
Okay.
I'm experienced. I think I have a good track record with the county, and I'm hoping people will recognize that and give me another term.
Okay. So I know you're on the county board right now. What other offices have you held in the past?
Elected offices?
Yeah, sorry.
In the past, I've been precinct committeeman years ago, but as far as elected offices, that's it.
Okay. Did you serve on the county board in the past too?
Yes. I was first elected to the board in '94.
Okay. Did you just serve for one term then, or multiple terms?
Let's see. In '94, I served for one term, I think, and then I served as the assistant to the board chair, which is a position that got done away with several years later. And then I got back on the board, and then, let's see, gosh, I don't know, I'm old, I forget all this stuff. I got back on the board after my term as assistant to the board chair, and then I lost an election in 2002, maybe. I got back on the board in 4, and then I lost again in 16, and got back on the board in 18. Is that right? I don't know.
Okay.
That's the best I can remember. So
Okay.
if I'm wrong,
okay.
I apologize. But I've been on the board for the better part of the last 25 years.
Okay. Regarding being the assistant to the board chair, was that during your 1994 term, or was that after that term?
I resigned my seat to take the position as assistant to the board chair.
Okay. Was the assistant normally an elected position?
No.
Okay.
The assistant to the board chair was appointed by the board with the consent of the full board.
Okay.
And basically served in a very similar capacity as our new county administrator.
Okay. Right. Do you plan to run for office again in the future?
A different office?
Same office or a different office?
I don't know. I do one campaign at a time.
Okay, understood. What other relevant experience do you have that you'd like to share?
Just my experience on the board is my best resume builder for this position.
Mm-hmm.
I serve on the mental health board as well. I've served on different boards, been appointed through the county, and I think all those experiences I've been on the DMCOC board, which I'm back on now, the mental health board, and a couple others I can't really remember. Those are the two most important, I think, because it really keeps me up on areas that aren't necessarily, I don't work in the medical field, I don't work in social services, so it really keeps me involved in what is going on and what the needs are and that sort of thing.
Okay. All right, thank you for that. Then we'll get into the specific questions I have from voters.
Okay.
So first, how will you protect voting rights?
Well, I personally don't know that I think everybody should be able to vote. Every U.S. citizen should be able to vote, and they should be able to vote once. I don't know. I don't think we're doing that bad of a job. I realize the publicity and all the what you hear, but I don't really believe that people are being denied the right to vote at the volume that we're hearing.
Okay.
If we've made it so easy to vote now, there's just no excuse.
Okay. What are your budget goals?
Budget goals is to stay in budget. I will not vote for a property tax hike. For the county general fund, I will not vote for an increase.
Okay. Do you have any other goals regarding taxes?
Just to make sure that we're spending them appropriately and the services that we're obligated to provide are provided, and hopefully some services that aren't necessarily statutorily required, but that we're able to do, that we continue to do that.
Okay. How will you address crime?
We need to continue to support our law enforcement. I think staying fully staffed is huge, but staffed without proper training is useless. So I think the training is very important. The personnel is very important. Yeah, in law enforcement, I think fully staffed is a huge part of it, but also proper training and equipment as needed and that sort of thing.
Okay. Is there anything specific you can do to make that happen in your position on the county board?
Well, when the sheriff or the courts or recommendations come down, we examine them and see if we can, a lot of times it's not a lot of times, but once in a while it's just not feasible.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, our courts and our sheriff are very good at, before they bring it to the board with a recommendation, they've done their homework and they know it will or will not benefit the county, and then we need to support them because they are the experts in that area, not me.
Okay. What goals do you have regarding cannabis dispensaries?
I have no goals.
Okay.
I will continue to support the legislation that we currently have.
Okay. Would you support cannabis dispensaries in the unincorporated areas of Macon County?
No.
Okay. Would you? I know you don't have jurisdiction over like City of Decatur or Mount Zion, but would you support cannabis dispensaries through advocacy in the incorporated areas?
I would not advocate either way inside municipalities.
Okay.
On either side of that.
Okay.
Because that is a municipality's governing body's decision.
Okay. All right. And last one would be, from what sources do you get most of your news?
Radio, Herald and Review. I don't know. I don't have a set schedule that I get up and watch or listen to anything in particular.
Okay. So it just kind of depends on what's on that day?
Well, yeah, but that makes it sound like I don't pay much attention, so I just,
Yeah, I didn't mean to frame it like that. All right. Okay. Well, I mean, that's all my questions. Do you have anything else you want to add?
Nope. I just encourage you and everyone that goes to your website to do their civic duty and vote. Vote once and vote in the right place.
All right.